Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Super Stock Bros. My name is Ace, and today I'm going to give you an update on the SPAC Road to a Milli Challenge. Stay tuned. All right, so let's dive into it. First, I wanted to show that I filled up my account to the promised amount. I got about, $3,700 worth of IPOF warrants. So you can actually see that here. My net is 630 shares. So I am going in with, about $3,700, 3,768. So that's what we're doing. That's the strategy for now. Like I said before in the previous videos, I think IPOF is going to be the one that gets the merger first. This is just a hunch. I don't know. It really doesn't matter because if IPOD gets the merger first, it really doesn't matter because this is kind of a rising tide type of thing. That means IPOD goes up, IPOF will also go up. And actually, we saw an example of that today. So I'll actually be showing what I'm talking about here. So, well, this shows that I'm in IPOF. Okay, so I added 630 warrants to my position. That brings up our total warrants to 830. Okay, so that's my total position in IPOF. Okay, so something very interesting happened today, and I wanted to point it out because it basically validates the strategy. So first thing, I noticed early on in the day that the warrants were undervalued compared to the stock price for IPOD. Now, this was very interesting to me because it's kind of simple math. The warrants are redeemable at 1150. So really what should be happening is you should take the stock price, subtract 1150, and you get the warrant price. Now, it doesn't work out perfectly like that because there's an implicit time decay factored in there. And not only that, there is some risk factored in there. So it's not the exact calculation like that. But when it deviates like $2 to $3, you know something weird is going on. And that's exactly what I saw earlier today. And actually, I wrote about it in my Discord, which I'll be sending to a link to later on when we have a lot of subscribers. I think it'll be a great idea. We can talk to each other. If you actually want to join the Discord, let me know in the comments and I'll put a link into the next video. But basically, I said IPOD warrants are currently undervalued. Each whole warrant entitles the holder thereof to purchase one Class A ordinary share at a price of $11.50 per. Okay, this I took straight from the S1. So that is exactly what the IPOD filed as. So now, if you take a look at it, 1150 subtracted, if you subtract that from 1735, you get so you get 585. Now the IPOD was way less than that. We're talking about like a 30% difference. This was huge to me. I thought, well, okay, what does this mean? Are people scared? I don't get it. And I think that what happened was IPOD's underlying shot up relative to the warrant. There was actually time to arbitrage, which means that there was a difference in time there and a difference of price there. So, technically what you could have done is you could have flipped one. And I tried to do it. I just tested it out with a small amount just to see what would happen. I bought 500 warrants of IPOD. And what do you know? It actually shot up. So if we take a look at our graph here, so I said that around 1135, right? So yeah, that was like around here. I noticed that it was pretty low, around 450. And then it shot up eventually to around 5. Okay, so and this was very interesting because at this time it kind of settled around here. So there was a little bit of time arbitrage there. Now, something also interesting happened at the same time, coincidentally, at 1 o'clock p.m. Chamath himself tweeted out, "I'm finalizing an investment in ? And I will be leading their PIPE, which is a private investment in public equity." Okay, so that basically means that when you hear about these secondary offerings of a sale for a lower price for a particular stock, then you have someone like Chamath coming in, putting in a large influx of money, like $50 million or something like that, to buy up a bunch of shares at a lower price. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of people thought this meant that IPOD and IPOF were getting a merger. So they thought this was a merger announcement. And guess what happened? IPOD immediately shot up from about 1750 all the way to around 1814. Okay, so that was about a 10% difference in the day. And actually, it had already been up at that point. So it was way more than a 10% difference. It actually turned out to be a 15% difference. And so what happened to the warrants? You guessed it. The IPOD warrants, because they increase at a faster rate than the shares, actually shot up way more than that. They shot up 35%. And actually they closed up around 16%. So my initial theory that the difference was way too large turned out to be correct. And then you have Chamath coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to, invest into some company. He didn't say what, and everyone just assumed that it was an IPOD and IPOF merger, and that caused it to shoot up another 20%. So as you can see here, these little things are really bringing up the shares of IPOD and IPOF. And basically any kind of tweet that people misconstrue from Chamath about a merger is going to shoot these things up about 20%. So that's interesting. I think it validates the strategy. Not only that, I think we can do something more interesting than what we're doing now with the investment that we have. So we have a 3,700 investment with 830 warrants. What I'm going to be doing on the side is also swinging, about like $10,000, I would say, and trying for a 30% bullet. Okay, so I'm going to call this the SPAC Swing Bullet. All right, before it was the stock bullet, but I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to pretend like we can invest in both warrants and the stocks. So we'll see what we can do there. So it's a $15,000 bullet. We're going to try for about 35% target per swing. Okay, so and obviously I'm going to play it smart. If it swings up to 35%, I'm not going to sell right away. I'm going to determine whether that's a reason because of the merger or what have you. So this might be more than 35%. We'll see. As soon as it gets to 35%, I'll probably set a mental stop loss. And if it goes to 35%, I'll just stop and cut out. So that's going to be the strategy. And according to this, it's going to take about 14 attempts like this. So maybe 14 tweets from Chamath. We'll see what happens. I'm prepared to lose this all. But like I said, the warrants have a downside to about $10. So, or, around $11.50 or $10. So we'll see what happens there. I don't think it's going to go that low, but I'm protecting my downside to a certain point. And that's probably about, 50% of my money. Okay. So I'll be able to get 50% out. I'm happy with that. Now, the update on this, like I said, our entry price is about $448 for our IPOF warrants, and we're going for a price target of about $11.20. I think that's a bit too high considering IPOE warrants only shot up to their high was $8.96, and that's a lot. I think I'm gonna lower this target and make this customized to about $10, something like that. And we'll see how it goes. 150% return on investment is what I'm going for with these warrants for each one of them. That's a lot. Okay, this is a very ambitious target, but I think we can do it considering I got in late with this one. And notice I put IPOD after because, like I said, I think IPOD merger is going to come up after that. And we're going to try to get in really early with IPOG because, like I said, we were really late on IPOF. So IPOG, as soon as the SPAC comes out, we're going to invest in it. Okay, try to get it low. Try to secure low warrants. Around $2, hopefully something like that. And that way it's going to be way easier to hit the target. Like if you have a target of, you do like $2 and you only have to target 5. And most of these already got to 5 within a few months. So hopefully the bull market keeps up and then we can do something like this, which is way easier. For this one, now we have to wait for the merger announcement and then everything to be completed. All right. Of course, IPOD is out, so I'm referring to IPOG starting at 2, and then we can get to 5. So that's the strategy. I think, like I said, strategy has been validated. We are loaded up on IPOF warrants, and we're going to create a swing bullet. This is going to take some time. We'll see what to do, especially because we're late on IPOD and IPOF. So we'll probably try to buy some more IPOF warrants. And that's it. So thanks for sticking with me on this journey, and I think we can make a lot of money. So like I said, this is just for entertainment purposes, but I hope you follow along with me on this journey, and let's make those gains.